Just raise your hands. How many people here have lost $650,000 in one day? Raise your hands. Okay, okay. There's a few. Good, good. So you know my fucking pain. And the story I'm telling you is true. There are people in this room who can attest to this being a true story. But I'm not actually going to tell you the story about losing the money. I'm going to tell you about the story behind the story. So, here goes. So, I was living in Spain, and I moved to Dubai, because Dubai is apparently where all the money was back then. And I went broke in Dubai. This is a catalogue of failures. I failed a lot in many aspects. So this is a catalogue of failures, and in Dubai I lost all my money. I mean, Dubai is expensive. Rent was like $40,000 every 6 months. So a year's rent was like $80,000 paid up front. So yeah, I lost all my money in Dubai. But the good thing about Dubai is I met my wife. We have 2 kids. She's sitting over there. She's fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, no, you don't know what happened. Yeah, she's laughing because she knows. So, Dubai, I lost all my money. And I was broke. I was miserable. It ends up good. We'll get there. But it was a painful story of losing a lot of money. So, I was nothing. And I said to her, I said, look, let's leave Dubai. By the way, she was earning like $150,000 a year. She was working for the Prince of fucking like Saudi Arabia. She was, yeah, she had it all. And I was like, look, quit that job. I've got a good idea for a business. And funny enough, she said yes. Can you fucking believe it? She said yes. So she's like, okay, I get your vision, and I'm not going to bore you with the talk, but we had a talk, and she said yes. So there we were. Me penniless, she very wealthy. The roles have changed now, so it's fine. But me penniless, she very wealthy. We moved to Romania because if we're going to do this online business stuff, I had to keep costs low. I had no money. I was living off all her money. We moved into her parents' house. So there was me, random black dude in Romania, right? Living in her parents' house, no money, no nothing. And there's just this random guy living in a bedroom in front of his laptop. An old laptop, but I bought a new, no, the laptop I was using at the time, she bought me for my birthday. So it was a kind of a new one compared to my old one, but I digress. Anyway, I was there in a room for about a year, right? Living in the room, failing miserably. Her dad was just like, who the fuck is this dude? He's eating all my food, he's prancing around the house, he's black. I heard things about black guys and what they have down there. He's fucking my daughter, this isn't good. So I was just like, okay. Look, there's more to me than this. A year later, we launched the business. Everything went well. In fact, there are people in this room who joined us from this business. She's laughing right now. So she joined us in a crazy way from this business. So anyway, everything went what I thought was well. We made a couple $100K in sales. I was sitting there with like 50, 60K in the bank. I didn't have to rely on Monica's money anymore. I thought, okay, let's go big now. So I decided to move from digital products, which is where we started, into physical products. So I had this idea for a product, and we invested like $40,000 up front to get this thing off the ground. And it went well. We launched it on Kickstarter. Anyone here know what Kickstarter is? Okay, so it's basically a platform where you don't have to do much other than put a prototype and a video, and people will give you the money before you give them the product. So this way, I was like, oh, this is brilliant. I was doing Amazon FBA and print on demand, and I was doing all the usual, make money online bullshits. And I put it all together and launched this thing on Kickstarter, and it did well. We made $650,000 in 45 days. Woo! I was like, I'm rich. I was telling my friends, sending links on Facebook, making posts on Instagram. I'm like, I've made it. Yeah, you laugh, you know. So anyway, throughout this whole process of 45 days, we had what you would call a troll. And this guy was the troll of all trolls. He was pasting links to the campaign, saying this guy is a fraud, the product is BS, it's never gonna do this. So I'm not gonna bore you on the technicalities, but instead of me being a conservative business person who takes things on the chin and approaches things properly like I would do now, back then I was full of hubris. I was like, fuck this dude. Every day I was making another 10, 20, 30, 40K a day. I was like, screw this guy. And I was writing long messages. You're just bitter because I've made money. You're just horrible because I've made it. And you're just a bitter old man in your little house in Scotland. And anyway. Yeah, people are laughing because they know. So I was there with all the hubris in the world. So the campaign finished. It said on the board, $650,000. And I told all my friends, my family, we've made it, we've done it. I'm on the road to success now. The money normally takes around 2 weeks from Kickstarter. So you launch a product. People who want to buy it, back it first. Then you get it at the end of the campaign. So I was sitting there thinking, all right, $650,000 is coming to me. This is great. 2 weeks later, I get an email. Hey, Sam, the money didn't arrive yet because there was a typo in the account details. And I was like, oh, okay, let me fix this ASAP. And normally you get it after 2 weeks. And we were like, hold on, it's been 2 weeks, I haven't got the money. But it's all right, we got this email, they've explained the situation. We go to bed, fixing the typo. And I wake up in the morning and my wife is in tears. Holy shit, I wake up in a stupor. I look online and we get an email. We have decided to cancel your project. We are refunding everybody who bought your product. $650,000 gone in one email. My life ended that day. What I thought was my life ended that day. My wife was in tears. My business partner was in chaos. By the way, the 40K we invested was just the beginning. We invested another 40K on ads. So I was 80K in the hole. Living in Romania, black guy, in my wife's parents' house. Yeah, you can imagine, it was really bad. Tears, devastation. I was on Facebook groups asking people if they know anyone in Kickstarter. I was on LinkedIn messaging all the Kickstarter employees. I was doing everything. It was bad. It was shameful stuff. Anyway, so my wife was like, look, fly to the Kickstarter head office in New York, go meet the team, explain the situation, we can still rectify this. So she booked tickets. In her infinite wisdom, she booked tickets. We drove to the airport the next day, and as I went there, yeah, she's laughing because she knows, right? So I went there the next day, handed in my passport. Okay, I'm ready to get on the plane. I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna say to these guys. And the little lady behind the checkout was like, sorry, sir, I think you've got the dates mixed up. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, the ticket's for next week. I was like, whoa, okay. This is a catastrophe. I walk back out to the car. My wife is like, what are you doing? I'm like, babe, you booked the wrong date. Oh my God, the sobbing and the crying and the tears and the despair. It was just, oh, it was a lot. Anyway, so I was like, okay, it's over. This is God telling us this money is not ours. We've got to put a pin in it and move on. Either way, at the end of it all, we managed to figure out a way to still take the product to market. And even though it was arguably one of the worst events of my life, I wouldn't change it for a thing. Because now, the things we learned from that event have been some of the most deeply intrinsic things that have made me who I am. We wouldn't have met this girl if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't have met her, and her, and her, and her. So, even though it was a massive failure story, and trust me, when you lose $650,000 in one day, it hurts. It really hurts. At the time, I had a brave face. Everyone around me was crumbling, but it hurts. I'm not gonna lie. But now it's okay, because we make, tens of millions of dollars every single year. Our target next year is to make around $50 million with our brands. And it really is just a story behind the story, because I've told this story before about how we lost the money, and I focused on the money. But you don't realize the emotional heartbreak behind the money. Like, when you lose that level of money in an email, it's not the money that hurts, it's the people that hurt. It's me that hurts. It's the family and the team, and it's hard. But if I was to go back and look at everything, would I change it? No. Because that is what made me who I am today. And that's why I'm standing in front of you telling this very deep emotional story.